Alright, so welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We've got a couple more companions to speak to, but first I want to try getting Sten's quest again, so let's see about the rest of his dialogue options. Why were you imprisoned?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
What happened exactly?
I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
Sounds like what happened to me at Ostagar.
I heard the stories of Ostagar. Your kith stood their ground when others fled. No one can do more than that. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
What did you do?
I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
And then?
I killed them. With my bare hands. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
You panicked over a lost blade?
That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was sent into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Couldn't you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where did you fight the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
We'll look for it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Okay, great. We don't have to feed him any cake. And we can go look for his sword. We're gonna go by Lake Calenhad anyway to see what the mages are doing, so we'll get right on that, honey. Let's see. Morrigan and Liliana we have to talk to. Let's chat with Morrigan here.
I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes. By Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You found it fun?
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was happening. Flemeth would warn them once. It was a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
She used you as bait?
It was a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
I wonder if that was this. Must be what that guy in the Circle Tower was talking about in terms of the hedge mages that live outside of the Templars' influence. Velavera is like, I mean, she's got a little bit of a crush on Morrigan. Unfortunately, it's pretty hopeless. It's not gonna happen, but yeah, the thing is that Morrigan and her mother are not dangerous. They're just trying to live their lives peacefully and practice, like, not, magic that is not blood magic. Um, yeah.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become Maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Exactly. To be fair, Flemeth is kind of an abomination anyway. But Morgan doesn't really know that. And Flemeth isn't really a harmful abomination. Well, for the most part at least, she just like wants to mind her own business and live on her own terms and sometimes help against the blight. So like, eh. And she did save Velavera's life, so yeah, she's not really inclined to think badly of her. She's just gonna say if you say so, because the circle is not quite what you picture, but like, it did try to make her friend tranquil against his will. Caused him to resort to blood magic. There was a whole mess there. She doesn't agree completely, but she kind of understands where Morgan's coming from.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
But I want to talk to you more, Morgan. There's so much to say.
Your command. So, full of questions, are you?
My cat is sitting on my mouse. Did you grow up in the wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wilds? A curious
Hi,
question.
Meow.
Where else would you picture me?
Oh god.
For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
Sorry, this is really cool dialogue and stuff, and my cat is like rubbing against the microphone and meowing and stuff. So I'm really sorry if you can't hear it or something. And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language. Most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, it is not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
That quote that she said, like, men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. I love that quote. But I don't know. I mean, technically Velavera isn't human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
That whole eye contact thing, hashtag relatable. Terrible at eye contact. Ah. Sorry, I'm hugging and kissing a cat. He's purring into the microphone. I don't know if you can hear it. Mwah. Get here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Alright. One more thing I wanted to ask you. Let's do one more
await
thing.
Your command. So, full of questions, are you?
I wanted to ask the thing about
I await your command.
her life being lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, it was to the trees.
Must be helpful if you're able to turn into an animal, you know? Did they speak back?
Don't be foolish. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar.
Hi, kitty.
I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
I can't imagine Flemeth was pleased.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
To be fair, that was a little bit of a bad idea to take such a risk and steal something from a noblewoman.
Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning.
There's a good
Without
quote
those lessons,
again.
I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
I mean, you would have just been living in the swamp, but with, like, a nice mirror. I knew I was right to give you those, like, pretty necklaces and stuff. No wonder you like
I
them.
await your command.
Alright, got one more person to talk to. And you'll finally be able to get a move on here. Liliana. There she is.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You just don't seem to belong in a cloister.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
What does affirmed mean?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
So your skills were learned before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yes? Well, here I am.
The tales that she has to share are kind of long-winded, Let me know in the comments if you want me to ask her about them. Because they're like very, very long. Let's talk to her about her vision, I
knew
guess.
this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
Definitely. Okay. So we've chatted to everybody. Let's head over to Lake Calenhad. I'm gonna do a quick save and let's go. I'm gonna bring Doggy. I'm gonna bring Sten to Lake Calenhad, and I guess we're gonna bring Liliana. I guess for now.
Indeed.
Lake Calenhad. Let's see what this party is like. Alright, we got a couple of things to do. What about this guy? Hello.
Back off. I was here first.
You haven't seen a sword lying around here, have you?
Why, you looking to buy one?
My very large, angry friend here is.
Oh, is he? Well, that's... see, I'd like to sell you one, but I don't, have any myself. I got part of a glove the wolves didn't chew too badly, though. I think it was a glove, anyway. I know, don't say it. I got cheated. I knew the guy who was here before me. He sold me this spot. Said he found giants and all kind of crazy valuables. He didn't mention that he'd taken everything but the bones and the dirt already. His name's Ferrin. Squirrely little bastard, if you ask me. Which he didn't, but I said it anyway.
Where is he now?
He was going to Orzammar, he said. I imagine he's gotten there by now. If you find him, tell him I sent you. It'll scare the piss out of him. Ah. This spot is mine. Find your own.
Okay.
Why are you here?
What do you mean?
Women are priests, or merchants, or artisans, or farmers. None of those have any place fighting.
I have no idea how to answer this.
It is not done. There is no more to it.
Do you mean your people have no female mages or warriors?
Of course not. Why would our women wish to be men?
What are you talking about? They don't wish to be men.
They shouldn't. That can only lead to frustration.
Sten! No, never mind. Let's drop this.
Before we do any fighting, let's have...
This lake. Do you think we're allowed to swim in it?
Humans overcompensating as always.
Let's have Buffuff do the landmark boat here. And then let's see about talking to some of these people. A shady thug, eh? Ooh, wait, hold on. Who's this? Oh, Kester. Hi, Kester.
Well, look at this. I remember taking you across when you left with that fella Duncan. And now you're a Grey Warden. My pap used to tell me stories about them.
Hello, Kester. Why aren't you manning the boat?
Templars took the boat.
So I can't get across?
Gregor just came down and said, "Don't you worry, Kester, we got it all under control, we do." Didn't say nothing else. And then he puts Carol in charge of my boat. Lissy, named for my grandmum she was.
Is something wrong up there at the tower?
I told you, they didn't tell me nothing. And if I know they're mages, I'm better off keeping out of their business. If I had to guess, I'd guess it had to do with magic. But the tower's always got something to do with magic.
I should get going.
You go on ahead then. They were nice talking to you.
Yeah. Interesting.
I shall do it.
Alfred. And...
You're the Grey Warden, aren't you? Exactly who I was hoping to meet. I represent a collective of mages interested in going about their lives without the constant scrutiny of the Chantry.
how can I help you?
Next to me, and in every major settlement, you will find an inconspicuous sack containing requests from mages all over the land who need the assistance of someone skillful and discreet.
I'll take a look at that.
Thank you, my friend. We have agents in every major settlement to reward you for work done on behalf of the collective. Make us smile upon you.
So where's the sack? Here?
It shall be done.
Okay. Notices. Ten bundles of deep mushrooms. Okay. So we got a few more side quests over here. Got a dagger. Small shield. Hi, Shady Thug. Ooh, okay, you know what? Let's talk to this guy here.
What business would the mighty Grey Wardens have with a man like me?
I'm here on behalf of the Blackstone Irregulars.
Oh? What was this about?
I hear you stole supplies from the guild.
I see. Tauren must have sent you. I refuse to answer to a pawn of Tauren. Come, men, to arms!
Alright, time for a fireball to the face. Great. Wonderful. Grab all that stuff. We'll have to deliver the guild supplies later. Got sacks over here.
You called.
Oh,
As you wish.
okay. Sack.
As you say.
Let's head inside here. Chat with some of the people over here.
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace? What are you looking at?
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Let's see. Liliana. Great. Okay. Lorana.
Good day.
I wonder if we'll have to come back here later to talk to her. Hi, innkeeper.
Good day, and welcome to the Spoiled Princess. Is there something I can get for you?
Why is the inn called the Spoiled Princess?
It was my father's idea. He ran the inn before me, and he named it for my sister. She was his little princess. Princess decided the country was too dull for her and moved to Denerim. More glamorous, she said. Well, she was found murdered, robbed of all the trinkets my father bought her with his hard-earned money. My father died of shock and heartbreak. Mother stopped eating, and I got the struggling in. The name stuck. That's the story.
That's freaking miserable. Oh my god.
Of course. What would you like?
Bet this will be a good place to buy a drink when we get a friend who might be interested in booze. But we don't have that person yet. Sell some of this. Oh, I can't sell this stuff to him. What will you buy? I guess I'll sell some crafting materials. Okay. Let's head back outside. We'll switch out our party a little teensy bit.
Yes, indeed.
I'll take these guys just for a moment to have Morgan make some stuff. And Alistair. Wow, that was kind of grumpy, Alistair. You don't have to be like that. I have Alistair use this thing. Yeah, alright. So now who do we actually want to take? I do want to take the dog. Morrigan, I like Morrigan, but she's kind of rude to some of the mages in the tower. You know, I don't want to start a fight. Let's see. I do like Alistair.
Yes.
Why don't we take these guys? Go to the tower. Whew. I'm not making poisons, but this death root is bothering me. I really just need to take it. Okay, let's speak to Carol over here.
You're not looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass.
I'm a Grey Warden and I seek the assistance of the mages.
Oh, you're a Grey Warden, are you? Prove it.
I have these documents.
Yes. Oh, a Grey Warden seal. Aha. So you're claiming to be one of those. You know, I have some documents too. They say I'm the Queen of Antiva. What do you think of that?
Aren't queens female?
Don't question royalty. Anyway, it was nice chatting with you. Now, on your way, right now, go.
Superior won't like it that you're giving me trouble.
Oh, really? You think Gregor would be upset with me for not letting you in? Wait, actually, he would. Good point.
We should try our best to avoid that, shouldn't we?
He's the big guy around here. I bet he could deal with one Grey Warden. Alleged Grey Warden. Well, you want that I should take you there now?
Yep.
Come along, I suppose.
And I want 2 men stationed within sight of the doors at all times. Do not open the doors without my express consent. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The doors are barred. Are they keeping people out or in?
Now we wait and pray.
What's going on here?
I don't have time to entertain visitors. Well, look who's back. A proper Grey Warden now, are we? Glad you're not dead.
Really, are you?
Perhaps. Now we're dealing with a situation that doesn't involve you, Grey Warden.
This is my home. I want to know what's happened.
I shall speak plainly. The tower is no longer under our control. abominations and demons stalk the tower's halls. We were too complacent. First Jowan, now this. Don't think I've forgotten your role in Jowan's escape.
What can I do to help?
I have sent word to Denerim, calling for reinforcements and the right of annulment.
The right of annulment? How can you think of annulling the entire circle? I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised, considering what they were like before.
The mages are probably already dead. Any abominations remaining in there must be dealt with, no matter what.
This situation is dire. There is no alternative. Everything in the tower must be destroyed so it can be made safe again.
Honestly, Alistair, I've been liking you a little more this time, but don't say stuff like that. They're not defenseless. Some of them must still live.
If any are still alive, the Maker himself has shielded them. No one could have survived those monstrous creatures. It is too painful to hope for survivors and find nothing.
I'll look for survivors.
I assure you, an abomination is a force to be reckoned with, and you will face more than one.
I have confidence in my abilities.
Arrogance hangs about you like some fell cloud, doesn't it? If you succeed, I would owe you much, enough that I would pledge my Templars to your cause. Without word from Denerim, I must determine our course. Surely destroying Darkspawn is a worthy goal.
We have an agreement then.
A word of caution. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. The great doors must remain barred. I will open them for no one until I have proof that it is safe. I will only believe it is over if the first enchanter stands before me and tells me it is so. If Irving has fallen, when her circle is lost and must be destroyed, may Andraste lend you her courage, whatever you decide.
Alright. So fun fact, the first time I actually did this, I didn't really understand the mechanics of the fight, of the boss fight, and I ended up getting all the mages killed, and I had the Templars assisting me, and the Templars are actually like so much more useful in the final battle. But Velavera is of course not going to let that happen. She's going to try and save the mages. Let me do some final selling here.
We're running low on supplies, and I don't know how much longer we'll last.
You have supplies for sale?
Yes. Would you like to trade?
Yep. Do some final selling here, and then we will get started. Wowza, look at that. Any backpack? Yes, give me that. Give me that too. Injury kit recipe. I'm spending all my money here. Helmet of the Barasad. Interesting. Wow, look at that. It's going to be quite a while until we can wear heavy armor, so we'll just keep an eye on all of this, basically. Sell you my death root, and we'll use that arcane tome on ourselves. And so that's just to spend on a spell or talent. Why don't we try Tempest, maybe? Yeah, we'll try Tempest. Awesome. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode where we will storm the Circle Tower. Thank you so much. Bye.